Hey guys! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the next game review, and man, I cannot believe that we're at the end of my journey of reviewing the first three numbered Assassin's Creed games. Knowing that Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out next week, it is time to end my journey of reviewing the first three numbered Assassin's Creed games. This was actually not in my original plan. My original plan when it came to reviewing Assassin's Creed games was actually to end this by reviewing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. However, once I found out how long it was actually going to be, because I forgot how massive Assassin's Creed Odyssey is and how long it would take to record the footage needed to review that game, I decided to nix the review because reviewing Assassin's Creed Odyssey would have taken me ages, and I didn't want to just have two Assassin's Creed games. There is a particular reason why I chose this game, and guys, no joke, I'm going to show you footage as to the reason why I decided to review Assassin's Creed 3. Roll the clip.
And most importantly, we have passion. We believe. To maintain vigilance, conserve your ammo, ensure a proper line of sight, and above all else, men, do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes.
Yes, guys, I kid you not. One of my ancestors, Israel Putnam, is a character in this game, and that was definitely a major reason why that led to me actually choosing to review this game. And plus, I have heard many people say that they absolutely love Assassin's Creed 3. I had told people I had never played this game, and they said, oh, you've got to play Assassin's Creed 3. It's an absolutely incredible game. For those reasons, I decided to tackle on Assassin's Creed 3. I am here to talk about the third numbered installment, technically the fifth installment of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and that is Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 came out back in 2012. Can you believe that, guys? Over, if I'm not mistaken, nearly 13 years ago this game came out, which is absolutely flarking crazy. Once again developed by Ubisoft, and as y'all can imagine, in the plot of Assassin's Creed 3, we once again follow our major character Desmond Miles, portrayed and voiced by Nolan North, as he continues his fight against the Templars with his crew from the first two Assassin's Creed games. However, in this game, when it comes down to the ancestor that we're playing, or in this case, I should say ancestors that we're playing as, unlike playing as Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, we now primarily play as Connor, and also in some cases, Haytham. By the way, before I continue on as well, I will be discussing some spoilers in this review because, guys, as much as I want to keep this as spoiler-free as possible for those of you who haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, to which, come on, who hasn't played this game already? The game has already been out for almost 13 years, so if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, I'll let you guys know and get into some spoilers, but don't worry, I won't get into spoiler details when it comes down to the ending of the game, but I will talk about the first big reveal of Assassin's Creed 3, so that's what you all know. I will let you guys know when I talk about that spoiler detail, but otherwise, everything you're going to see in this game is pretty much spoiler-free. Connor and Desmond, who are assassins, and then the first big spoiler of the game, Haytham, who is a Templar, which is the first big reveal of Assassin's Creed 3, and that made my jaw drop, which I'll get into a little bit when it comes down to my pros for this game. When it comes down to Connor's side of the story, Connor is actually Haytham's half-son, his half-Mohawk son, who after he discovers that his mother has been murdered, particularly by a character named Charles Lee, he goes on a revenge quest to, well, get revenge against those who did him wrong, in particular, Charles Lee. Before I continue on with today's video, I just wanted to say, welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a feature video, whether it's a feature review, reaction, top 5, top 10, or whatever I have coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because believe me when I say this, guys, you are not going to miss the cool stuff I have coming your way. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, welcome back, everybody. You have no idea how happy I'm to see your faces once again. And let's have a conversation below as well. what did you guys think of Assassin's Creed 3? Or even better, out of the first 3 installments of the franchise that I did reviews for, which one is your favorite? Let me know below. And also, just what you guys know as well, the footage that you're seeing is captured on Xbox Series X. By the way, turn off HDR and just turn on 4K with the 60 FPS, the frame boost. This game looks incredible. And now that I've finally beaten the game, and yes, I finally played and beat Assassin's Creed 3, it is time to get into why I believe that Assassin's Creed 3 is a kick-ass installment of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Yeah! Getting into everything that I loved about Assassin's Creed 3, the first thing I want to talk about here, and obviously I could talk about the graphics and the art direction, to which I will talk about that, but not right now. I want to talk about how incredible, and I mean how incredible the narrative is before the ending on Desmond's side, to which I'll say for later on. The narrative of Assassin's Creed 3 starts off incredibly strong, and once it gets to that reveal that your father, Haytham, who, by the way, Haytham is a badass character, but again, I'll save him for a little bit. Once that reveal came that Haytham is actually a Templar, my jaw dropped, and what an incredible way to open Assassin's Creed 3. Like, I could not have imagined a better way to reveal that the character that you start off as is actually technically a villain. The narrative of Assassin's Creed 3, I think, is one of the best narratives of the franchise. Although I will still say, do I think that the narrative is better than, let's say, Assassin's Creed 2's narrative? No. But really, Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the best video games I've ever played. It's one of my favorite narratives I've ever experienced in a video game. So really, comparing this game to that game, it's such a very tall order. However, and I will still say that the narrative in Assassin's Creed 3 is an incredible narrative, especially in how it starts off, to how it kicks into Connor's side of the story, in which how he learns certain things going forward, especially about the Templars and the Assassins, how this game builds off the Templars and the Assassins fight still going on, Connor's narrative, Haytham's narrative, and not to mention Desmond's narrative, how the story goes along. Knowing that this game is set in 18th century colonial America, I think was such a cool change in terms of where this game is taking place, especially in terms of the history of the world. Something else that I gotta talk about that I absolutely loved about Assassin's Creed 3 is how this game looks. Assassin's Creed 3, especially when it comes down to level design and the vibrant color palette. And that brings me to something else that I love about at least the first 3 numbered installments of the franchise. What I absolutely love about the first 3 games is how distinctive they look to each other. Assassin's Creed 1 has this sharp design, but it has this more grayish blue look. Assassin's Creed 2 has this more yellow-orange design, while Assassin's Creed 3 definitely has this more blue-greenish style look with these red colors attached to it as well. What I especially love about these first 3 games, the first 3 numbered games I should say, is how each of these games has its own distinct identity, and I absolutely love about these games, at least the first 3 numbered games. Whether exploring Boston, New York City, and also the American frontier, each specific level is well designed, although I will say I do kind of miss knowing how in Assassin's Creed 2 you're able to scale these massive skyscrapers. Why you don't have that in Assassin's Creed 3, I actually did appreciate the more grounded feel of Assassin's Creed 3, although at the same time, when you're going to the frontier, doing the parkour, and all those trees, it is so freaking badass. I couldn't get enough of the parkour elements. Which, by the way, and that brings me on to the next thing, and this is, by the way, the thing that I loved the most about Assassin's Creed 3, and that is the gameplay. The gameplay of Assassin's Creed 3 is as smooth as ever, and once again, and this is something that I mentioned in Assassin's Creed 2, I'm going to bring this into Assassin's Creed 3, the evolution of the gameplay, of how fluid, of how smooth everything is, going from Assassin's Creed 1, 2 to 3, especially when it comes down to the parkour and the combat. The combat and the parkour have not only ever felt more smooth and stylish, but everything feels so satisfying. The parkour in Assassin's Creed 3, especially when Connor goes through a house and you see how the camera zooms in, following his cool movements. The animation in this game still looks great. And again, guys, I have to repeat myself here. Knowing that this game came out nearly 13 years ago and it looks and it feels as good as it does still 13 years later, it's a testament to how great this game was polished, especially in terms of its gameplay. Speaking of which, guys, I gotta talk about the combat in Assassin's Creed 3. Holy crap is the combat in Assassin's Creed 3. Not only, again, cool, but the combat in this game is so brutal. I was not expecting for the kills to be as brutal as they were. Seeing how Connor absolutely eviscerates his enemies, going for a final kill with the stealth blade. Oh my god. The amount of times I actually said, oh my god, oh my god. The amount of times I actually had an audible reaction how brutal the combat is in Assassin's Creed 3, I lost count. There are many times where the camera just flies around and it zooms into a sick kill, especially where Connor just shanks a bunch of enemies at once, followed by a final kill where he just goes right through a person's chin. Even though that Connor is a badass character, the standout in this game in terms of the characters is Haytham. Haytham is such a suave, a sleek, a cool, and a badass character. And by the way, his combat, especially when you're doing a finisher on somebody, is just absolutely incredible. I could not get enough of Haytham, especially in that opening couple of hours. That's a great character. Something else I gotta talk about is not only how the world is designed, but how great the world actually feels, especially when you're exploring Boston, hearing the drum beats as the soldiers going along and knowing how lived in each city feels. I seriously cannot praise how well designed this game is. The last thing that I gotta talk about, especially when it comes down to the storytelling, is the end to Connor's side of the narrative. I thought that originally the game on Connor's side was going to end in this big grandiose fashion, but the way that it decided to end his journey, I thought was actually a more satisfying way to do things. It ended in a way that was a way of respect, followed by such a satisfying kill.
Ah! God damn it!
Even though that Assassin's Creed 3 is a kick-ass installment of the franchise, I have to tell you all, once again, does this game reach the heights of the second Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed 2? Unfortunately, it does not. First of all, one of my criticisms, but it's not really a criticism towards the game as it's more of a personal preference, I miss the art direction and away from Assassin's Creed 2. Now, here's the thing. Even though I love that each of at least the 3 numbered installments of the Assassin's Creed games have their own identity, especially in terms of color palette, which I love, I kind of miss how the character models looked in Assassin's Creed 2 going to how the models look in Assassin's Creed 3. I know they went with a different engine for Assassin's Creed 3, which totally makes sense. I completely get that. But at the same time, I miss how the character models looked from Assassin's Creed 2. The models still look great in Assassin's Creed 3, but I just wish that they stuck with how the characters looked and just gave them, you know, a better paint job and a better model to them. That's all I'm saying. One of my biggest criticisms with Assassin's Creed 3, however, is the stuff involving Desmond. Now, once again, Desmond's character is great, but every time I switched back to Desmond, I thought that that side of the story was a pain in the ass this time around. His gameplay segments, even though there was one, that was freaking awesome, I will say that. However, every other part of Assassin's Creed 3 when it comes to Desmond's side of the story, it's like Ubisoft didn't like designing those segments. My biggest criticism with Connor at times was his voice actor. I don't know what it was with his voice actor, but there were times where Shippy sounded like Taylor Lautner from Twilight. Swear to God, guys. There were a couple of times where his acting and how he delivered some of his lines, I just kept thinking, okay, I don't know what the goal was here, but you sound... What was that? Connor's a character. He's awesome. I loved his narrative, but there were times where his voice actor just sounded a little too much like he was overcooking it. The last thing that I gotta talk about here, and do not worry, I will keep things spoiler free here. The last thing I will talk about is Desmond's end of the story. In Assassin's Creed 3, we see the end of Desmond's character arc. The concept of his ending, I think, is awesome. I love the concept of his ending, but the execution of his ending was, let's just say, it was to say that it was very anticlimactic and that it was very unsatisfying. I can't even describe it. Like, I could see what they were absolutely going for, and had it, kept building up with some great tension, with a great emotional side with Desmond and his father. I would have loved more with that. But I feel like that they were just rushing to the end of Desmond's story. And I don't know why, because here's the thing. You have a great voice actor in Nolan North. You have a great build-up, and how they were going into this great build-up of the narrative I thought was so cool. But once it got down to the actual part of the ending, I just was left thinking, so that's how you're gonna do Desmond? You're doing Desmond like that? Really? So overall, while Assassin's Creed 3 doesn't reach the heights of excellence that Assassin's Creed 2 is, at the same time, Assassin's Creed 3 is still a kick-ass installment to the Assassin's Creed franchise, with an awesome narrative, great art direction, a great color palette, incredible gameplay with some of the best of the Assassin's Creed franchise, some great characters, and an awesome narrative to especially Connor's side. Assassin's Creed 3 is an absolutely excellent installment to the Assassin's Creed franchise, and all in all, guys, I'm gonna give Assassin's Creed 3 an 8.5 out of 10. While Assassin's Creed 3 isn't great like Assassin's Creed 2 is, at the same time, Assassin's Creed 3 is still an excellent game, and I highly recommend it. And with that being said, guys, not only is that going to wrap it up for my review of Assassin's Creed 3, but that's going to wrap it up for my journey of reviewing the first 3 numbered Assassin's Creed games. I hope y'all enjoyed these reviews and this review. If so, please hit the like button, or if you dislike this review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click to the left or right side of the screen. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.
Nothing but trouble since you came aboard. Your problems have nothing to do with me.
I beg your pardon?
You're a poor leader, ill-tempered and cruel, and